Hail to the King. This is the biggest change, for me personally, this is the biggest change there's been in a sevenfold record, like, since Fallen to City of Evil. Okay. Is that a fair case, do you think?
I think so. I bet we've been living with it, so we thought it was normal.
All right, it's the same story
Seems
again.
normal to me. Yeah.
Groove is the word this time, right?
Yeah, and, I told our manager this as well. I said, when we're getting ready to release Hail to the King, the song, he's like, yeah, it's going to be great. And I was like, dude, there's going to be some opinions about this. And he's like, really? And I was like,
yeah,
don't you remember Waking to Fall in the City of Evil? Well, this is just as big of a jump. And he's like, oh man, I don't hear that. And I was like, because you were living with us the whole time during this. I get it. Now that I've lived with both for a long time, or all of it for a long time, it feels like it fits perfectly into our catalog. But at the same time, I understand at first it's going to be a little bit of a blast of cold water.
Yeah, like, especially like people have heard, just to let you have industry insight here, like, you guys heard Hail to the King and then you're going to get the record. Like, we just walked in and heard the record for the first time, so total blank canvas, no idea what to expect. A lot of traditional metal going on here, and like, not just in the influences that we know from you guys. Like, we've heard, like, there's bits and pieces in the past where you've gone, you can hear Metallica and Pantera and Guns N' Roses. Like, this is like proper denim and leather style traditional metal in places.
Absolutely.
Was that a conscious thing? Because, like, having read like a couple of the interviews that you guys have done for this record already, it feels like there was a conscious decision to just go, right, classic, old school.
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted it to be more of a rhythm-based record, more groove, more four on the floor, 1-2 beats instead of the over-the-top, out-of-control drums. Because sonically, we wanted to accomplish something we've never been able to accomplish, which was like a very hi-fi, mid-scooped out, big-sounding record. And so we went back to the drawing board of like the Rolling Stones and the Sabbaths and the AC/DCs, things that have never really been huge influences on us. And we wanted to add more of a blues element. The record has so much blues in it, and we've never had that before.
It's such a head trip for like everything to be so 4/4. Yeah. Like because you just like with Sevenfold, you sit there, especially when you first get a record, you're waiting for the twists and the turns and like those kind of, I didn't see that coming. Whereas this is like a straight line, like almost like being like run over. Like,
exactly,
by
it's like a bulldozer. It's like that's exactly what we wanted to accomplish on this record, and we felt. That's just where we felt we wanted to go with it. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it other than we didn't want to write another Nightmare or another City of Evil, and we felt like this was the next proper transition for us. I
like coming off of, particularly as far as this interview is concerned, like coming off the back of the heaviness of Nightmare, it feels like there's a certain, which again, like, you don't really associate with traditional metal, but like there's a kind of fun, fantastical vibe. Yep. About it, like was that again? Was
it's
that
dark
thinking?
in a fantasy way, because we felt like the Nightmare record was such an emotional, like, real weight, and we felt like we accomplished that with Nightmare. But I don't think people want to put in necessarily every rock record and have to have someone like really tell them about their emotional, hardships. And this record, we want to get back to what Jimmy would have liked about it, which was the records we all grew up loving, which were just over the top metal fantasy stories, but that also have like an underlying, sort of morality to them. And stories to them. And
like the first thing that comes to mind for me personally is like there's a Metallica, my favourite band. Like, it feels like there was interviews that happened around the time of And Justice for All where they were like, we've wrote 8.5-minute songs that song structure is kind of all over everywhere. There's a million riffs a song, and we just got to the point where we were just like, right, we've done everything that we can do as far as this like broad, like massive canvas of loads of different things. The ultimate stylistic change, and the thing that we could do is just take the best elements of what we've done and just condense it to just slap people around the face with. Is that Hail to the King?
I guess
in a similar way.
Subconsciously, it feels that way. I mean,
yeah, it's just going back to the core of metal and true hard rock is what we wanted to do. I mean, we could try and write another Nightmare and try and write another, a little piece of Heaven and just, make a conscious decision to try and do something we've already done. But for us, this is challenging. This is fun.
Yeah.
It's huge. To us, it's larger than life. When we walk on stage, we want to go up there and be monsters. We want to go up there and play the loudest. We want thousands of fists in the air.
You can hear the haze, like the first time you hear the record, you can hear where people are going to put them in.
It's filled with it. And the space that it causes live is insane. Like we've played Hail to the King live, and it just, that song just opens up everything to where that groove's happening, and you're like, is this the same band? Like, but it feels good. I mean, it feels the same way when, you know, like for me, when I see some of those older bands play some of their groove tracks, and and that chug starts happening, and that freight train's going to hit you.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted on this record, and there was really, and to do that, we needed everything to be very serious sounding, and with that, we had to stay away from all the dueling guitars and the melodic minor stuff. So we had to really focus on the blues to make it sound like that.
2013, happy place to be in Avenged Sevenfold?
I think so.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Glad to hear it. Hail to the King. Thanks for your time, man.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Yes, that was Scuzz's interview with Matt and Zachy from Avenged Sevenfold. I just want to welcome Wayne into the chat. Up next, I have got you the song from their debut album that came out last year, which is Hail to the King. And then I've got you Carry On by Avenged Sevenfold. But I've only got enough for half my show. So, after A Little Piece of Heaven radio edit, which is coming up after St. James Fiction, This Means War, all their songs, you can start requesting your songs. So here is Hail to the King, going straight into Carry On.